Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to welcome back Annie Lundgren. Annie, good to see you again. How are you?
Hi, nice to see you. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you so much for being here. You're involved with Wild, but you're also the film Wild, starring Reese Witherspoon, but you're also a filmmaker yourself. Tell us how you got into this business and what you've done in your career.
I've been in the film business way back since I was in college, and I've been working with my husband, Gary Lundgren. He's a writer-director, and I produce for him. We do commercials, music videos, but our primary focus is feature films. We've made the baseball comedy Calvin Marshall. We made Redwood Highway a couple years ago, and then most recently we just made a sci-fi movie called Black Road, and we produced that in Ashland this last summer.
Yeah, it was very exciting. I know you were very accommodating and letting us come out. Thank you again for that. And you're from Wairika, correct?
I'm from the Scott Valley, which is about 30 miles from Wairika, so yes,
very
the area.
Cool. Okay, and so you're also involved with Wild, the film that just premiered last night in Portland, is already getting amazing reviews, starring Reese Witherspoon and Laura Dern. What was your involvement in that film?
I was helping out the locations department, so I got a call from Nancy Haker, the main location person on Wild, and I was hired to be the location manager for Ashland, which meant that I was the liaison between the city of Ashland and the production.
Okay, now what does that entail? What specifically, what work would you do?
I went around to all of the businesses on the plaza because for the filming, Reese Witherspoon's character, Cheryl Strayed, she walks into Ashland off the Pacific Crest Trail, and the entire plaza had to be closed for that. It was a pretty huge deal. It was a huge impact to the city of Ashland.
A lot of businesses right there.
And to all the businesses. And for anybody who tried to get into town that day, the traffic was unbelievable because we shut down the streets at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
That was my call time.
Wow.
So I was down on the plaza at 2 a.m. making sure that there weren't any cars parked down there.
Because it was like, is it from the 70s or something? So you had to have a lot of older cars coming through there?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
They pulled in some older cars.
Some older looking cars.
It was actually, the day that she came into town was the day that Jerry Garcia died.
Oh, okay.
So that's why if anybody saw the call for extras, they were asking for people who are dressed as hippies with Grateful Dead t-shirts on. And yeah, it was a big deal.
Wow. Okay, very cool. We're going to take a quick break. We'll have much more with Annie in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Annie Lundgren, producer and also a liaison between the filmmakers of the film Wild and the city of Ashland. So Annie, tell us, what other locations besides the plaza did they shoot here in our beautiful region?
Okay, well, specifically on the plaza, they shot in the interiors of Papaya.
Oh, they went inside. Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, they completely redressed the store. So they owned the store for 3 days, and their art department came in. And so I helped the film production company make that deal with the owners of Papaya, and they were very accommodating. It worked out great, I think, for everybody. And they also shot at the Breadboard restaurant on the north end of town.
Yeah.
And they shot some exteriors on the street over by the post office. Okay. So it was a pretty interesting day. The crew started coming in around 2 in the morning. All the extras, their call time was 4 a.m. And they had them set up at the Armory doing hair and makeup and costumes. And we started filming about 8 o'clock. They got the first shot off. They did all the plaza stuff. Then they did the interiors of Papaya. Then they ran really quickly over to the post office to get some exterior shots. Wow. And what was interesting about that is the crew had no lights. They only had 2 grip and 2 electric, which is unheard of on a multi-million-dollar movie. So they ran over. I saw all of a sudden the camera cart running to the post office, and they were back in about 20 minutes to get that shot.
Wow.
And then they had to hustle to the breadboard to get a beautiful dusk shot.
Yeah. Wow, that's a pretty full day, talking about maximizing resources.
Yeah, it was impressive watching their crew work.
Wow, okay, so it seems like, you produced your film over the summer here in the Ashland Talent area. It seems like we're very much, Southern Oregon, Northern California is having an increasingly large presence in film.
Yes. Yes, we're trying our best to encourage more and more people to film here because when you get a production like Wild, for instance, just for that production, they spent around $200,000 just on that one day of production. So all of that money came into our area. A lot of our local crew was hired, and we are getting more and more professional crew members. And there's an organization called Southern Oregon Film and Media. It's also called SOFAM. And there's a very large group of growing film industry professionals. And we're trying to get more productions going
Yeah.
here, both initiated from internally, like the ones that we work on, and bringing the bigger productions in from outside.
It's certainly a big production. Wild is getting fantastic reviews,
Yeah.
and look forward to it premiering here in Southern Oregon
I'm
in a
excited
couple of
to see
weeks.
it.
Absolutely. Annie, good to see you again. Thank you.
Thanks, Craig.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.